Hey, shalom, shalom. Want to say all praises be to Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Harakak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles, was a quantum of great millstone rule well. Shalom to the sincere brethren. I keep out there across the four winds, the four corners of the globe, pushing the truth, the good news of Yahweh Shai, proclaiming salvation to the elect of Israel, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. I'm proclaiming the downfall of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man and his wicked empire. So as you can see, the U.S. debt, national debt, just reached 40 trillion. 40 trillion, which is a whole lot of coins, which is in line with prophecy, man. You understand?
National debt has just crossed a record $40 trillion as the federal government continues to borrow money at a staggering.
There you go, man. The U.S. debt just passed $40 trillion, man. And this is the system of the so-called white man, man. It's all based upon debt. Keeping the people in debt. And really, you in debt to who? Who is the country in debt to, really? When you check it out, really to the elite bankers, man. Because guess who owes that debt? You people, man. You Americans. You owe that debt, man. You understand? You owe that debt to the bankers, man. The banking families, man. You understand? Because really, America is a fictional entity. America ain't a person, so to speak, man. Who is really the U.S.? Who's the U.S.? It's the people, man. The people makes a place. So who owes that debt? You simple-minded Americans, man. You in $40 trillion worth of debt because your leaders have sold you out to the elite bankers, man. Your leaders have sold you out to a false balanced system of economics, man. You understand? How the hell you the richest country on earth, but you in all this debt, man? You funding all these wars, so on and so forth, but you can't pay off your debt because it's all a rigged system. It's all false balances, man, to keep you people in perpetual slavery, man. Because you have this debt, and you have all type of other debt too. You have credit card debt, student loan debt, you understand, so on and so forth. Now, because this is on the national level, this is the governmental level, but on the so-called consumer level, you have over $1 trillion worth of consumer of credit card debt, trillions of dollars of student loan debt, and all type of other debts, man. This is a debt-based society. So this is book of Habakkuk chapter 2. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgressed by wine, talking about Esau, Edom, chiefly the so-called white man here in America. He's a proud man, never died to keep it at home. Kind of like I just said. Esau, Edom here in America, he going out through all the four corners of the earth, starting all type of wars, man. Like what he just did over there in the Middle East with Iran. You understand? What he recently did in Venezuela, man. Taking out the Maduro, man. Capturing him and bringing him back here to Babylon, man. So what? He can plunder the oil over there in Venezuela. Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, and that wine is talking about his different philosophies and ideologies that he pushed out there. Democracy, feminism, and really the whole the economics of America, man, the whole debt system, the whole capitalism, which is heavily based upon debt, he pushes that out there to the world. That's why you got a lot of these third world countries in debt to the IMF, the International Monetary, which is the International Monetary Fund. You have those other big conglomerates that borrow money to these third world countries, man, or like what they were saying in the economics, the global south, which are these third world countries. There was a good documentary that I even watched back in the college. It might still be around. It's on the Jamaica, man. How the IMF basically screwed over Jamaica, man. Going back to the 80s, 90s, and even 2000s, man. They impoverished Jamaica through predatory loans, man. You know what I mean? Borrowing them money and they have to pay it back at exorbitant rates, man. Which is the whole system of Babylon. Like I was saying, this whole credit card system, the student loan system. They borrow your money, you have to pay it off at exorbitant interest rates, man. You understand? And then on the governmental level, the debt, you can see the debt clock is going up by the minute, man. Because there's all type of interest accruing on that debt. You understand? To who? It ultimately goes back to elite bankers who set up this system, this so-called capitalism system, man, that Esau loves to promote across the world, which keeps the poor and the rich, man. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yet also because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. Kind of, Esau is very proud, man. You understand? The few, the proud, the Marines. He's proud of his so-called democracy. That's why you want to push democracy throughout the world. Proud of his women's rights, feminism, alphabet communityism, all of this stuff, man. But guess what? This great pride is gonna come to an end. The Lord is gonna shut this down, man. He's gonna shut your pride down, man. He's gonna destroy all the systems that you set up, man. I said this whole democracy, capitalism, feminism. This is gonna be a thing of the past in the kingdom to come. This whole debt system. You know what I mean? When you borrow a man $100, you have to pay you back $200. Nah, that's gonna be done away with, man. You understand? Well, at least amongst the Israelites. You understand? Because the scriptures do speak about putting usury upon the heathen. You understand? But Esau done took it to another level. Just perpetuate, even within his own people, man. You know what I mean? Have his own people jacked up. You know what I mean? The ordinary so-called Edomite American, they all jacked up through this debt. Mortgage, that's another thing. Mortgages, man. Mortgage, which is another debt note, man. Which when you go into the word mortgage, it means death. D-E-A-T-H, note, man. It's a death pledge. Which is based upon what? Debt. You take out 300, 400, 500,000 and you have to pay that over 30 years, man. It's fucked up, man. That's why in Esau society, your credit score is more important a lot of times than even cash, man. It's crazy because I was having a conversation earlier with an elder brother on this topic, man. Your credit score is worth more than cash, man. Because guess what? With your a so-called good credit score, you could borrow 10 times the amount of money that you have in cash, man. And that's how a lot of these Edomites and these different people get rich, man. You know what I mean? Because they use that system, man. They figure out that system, they use it, man. You know what I mean? They might borrow $1 million or $2 million and invest it. You know what I mean? And that investment making money. And really they never pay it back because after the 2, 3, 1 million that they borrow, they make it more than the interest that they have to pay back. And really that's how you finesse the system. But really you need cash flow to even do that, man. You know what I mean? You need to show cash and then your assets, cash, which cash is assets. And you also have to show like a good credit score, man, which the average Jake don't have, man. You understand? That's why there's a saying the rich get richer, man. Because if you have $1 million, it's easy for the bank to borrow you 10 million. Because they know you're good for it and they know what you're gonna do with that money, good investment, so to speak. You understand? But the average Jake in the hood, he can't get a cash line, a credit line for $1 million or $2 million, man. Because he don't have the assets to show. He don't have the credit score to show. You understand? Who has those? Really the rich Edomites for the most part, man. So going back to Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Now that keeps at home who enlarges his desires hell and is as death, and that's what you bring out throughout the earth, man, death, and cannot be satisfied, can. He's going all through all the earth trying to conquer these different nations, take their resources, put them under his own system. But gather it onto him all nations and heap it onto him all people, can. Bring all of these different people to America, man. Especially a place like New York. New York is known as America is known as a melting pot, and New York is like the capital of this melting pot. Every different nation is here in New York City, man. You understand? Every different nation is here in NYC. You understand? And in America in general. That's him heaping all these different nations onto himself, man.
Great. And to put that number into perspective, the national debt has more than doubled over the last 10 years.
Yeah, that's more than double, man.
$20 trillion since President Trump first took office in 2017, despite...
There you have it, man. And a fair use, man. So it's more than double, man. And you have this double Trump, man. He up on there, man. National debt has more than double, man. You understand? But I show you, what the fuck you can get this money from, man? You know what I mean? It's all to keep these people, the Americans in our perpetual slavery, debt slavery, man. You could never get out of this slavery to the elite bankers, man. Because your country, you're a citizen of a country that owes $40 trillion, man. And we know they might use this as part of the implementation of the RFID chip, man. You understand? You want to wipe because I think they said like each citizen owes like 117K. You want to wipe your debt that you owe of this 40 trillion, you owe 117K. You gotta take this shit, man. You know what I mean? Who knows how they're gonna play it, man? Or you citizens gonna have to start paying off the American debt, man. You're gonna take it out your paycheck, so on and so forth. All of these things, man. And it's only going up more and more. You understand? Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 6, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and taunt a proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his. God, Esau, Edom stealing. That's how we got America. How long unto him that laded himself would take clay? Kind of not take clay goes into his debt. You know what I mean? Because Esau's whole system is based upon debt. Like I've been saying throughout this video, man. So he increases that which is not his, man. You know what I mean? And later himself would take clay. You robbing and you stealing across, plundering the resources of these different nations across the earth, man. And later himself would take clay. You all about this debt system, man. It's capitalism. And you're pushing out throughout the world to put other nations in that debt slavery, man. Where you borrow them, you loan them money, and you want double it back in 5 to 10 years, man. So they ain't gonna look at you a type of way. Of course, man. You understand? Of course. Why you raping and robbing their resources? Oh wait, you can't pay us back? Oh well, give us this land. Oh, let's cut this deal to get a oil at a dirt cheap price, man. Or your country rich in oil? Alright, you can't pay back debt. Give us the oil at a dirt cheap price, man. Give us the gold, or let's give us mining rights, so on and so forth. Or you don't want to do that? Alright, we're gonna destabilize your country. So you have that book, The Economic Hitman. You don't want to play ball, alright, we're gonna destabilize your country. We're gonna send rebels, mercenaries in there to destabilize your country. Or we might run in ourselves and kidnap your leader, like what they did to Venezuela. Or we might bomb your country like what they're doing to Iran right now, man. That's why all these countries across the world, they're seeing this, man. And trust me, they're looking at America, hey, like them Iranians call America the Great Satan, man. They're looking at America as the Great Satan, man. As a demon. That's that proverb, man. America is a great Satan, man. You know what I mean? The great the whore of Babylon the Great, man. Which is scriptural, man. And it's only gonna get worse and worse, man. This debt is only gonna increase, it's not gonna decrease. Like I said, it's gonna probably come to the point where they're gonna be like, yo, we gotta wipe this clean, so we have to implement the new digital system, the chip system, man. Where you Americans, you're gonna have to take the chip to wipe your debt, man. We don't know how they're gonna play it exactly, but that potentially this whole debt, 40 trillion of debt and counting, to wipe it clean, that could be a part of it, man. Haggai chapter 1, because Elon Musk, he already saying money not soon gonna matter, man. Money gonna be a thing of the past. So what's gonna happen to all this debt and different shit like that? Is it gonna just disappear? Disappear how? What's gonna be the mechanism for it to disappear? The RFID chip system, man. Haggai chapter 1 verse 6. Ye have sown much and bring in little. And it's talking about the Israelites. You eat, but you could apply it to people in general here in Babylon. But we're talking about the Israelites. You eat, but you have not enough. You drink, but you are not but you are not filled with drink. You clothe you, but there is none warm. So basically, you always in need, man. Us as Israelites. You know what I mean? Go back to Deuteronomy 28 chapter. Always in need. We're on the bottom socioeconomically. We all jacked up, messed up. Both spiritually and actually, man. Physically. And he that earneth wages to put into a bag with holes. Can't. Because your wages is being destroyed by inflation. As they're printing all type of money. And then the money is being devalued. Because of all the money they're being printing, man. There's no scarcity, man. And then the debt is 40 trillion. You understand? So they gotta print more money to pay down more, to try to pay down the debt or deal with the debt. So the money is losing value, man. The inflation, and then no raises on the job, or layoffs, so on and so forth. Or just paycheck to paycheck, rent rising, food, the cost of living, food rising, grocery prices. So it's like that's what they're saying, paycheck to paycheck come from, and it's only getting worse and worse over the years. All my life I've been hearing that, and it's only magnified more and more in these last days and times, man. Of people earning wages to put into a bag with holes, man. And that shit, as soon as you earn that 2,000, 3,000 hit your bank account, Gone, man. Rent, light bill, groceries, daycare, car note. Fuck it, man. Done, man. Done for. Done for. And to show you how jacked up the messed up the American system is, you have people all across the globe, they're making $500 a month, man. And they're surviving. But here in Babylon, you're gonna make at least $3,000-4,000 a month to survive, man. That's showing you that Babylon is off, man. This place is the scriptures speak about what? Warrington, the false balances, man. Briefly paraphrasing. That's how the fucking one country you could be living cool, or you could be getting by on $500 a month, but here in Babylon you need $4,000 a month, man. Something ain't right. That's because this place is the living cost of living is highly inflated here in Babylon, man. Going back to the whole trickery of this capitalism system, man. This whole debt system, man. You know what I mean? And the greed here in Babylon, the greed, everything is inflated and the prices are jacked up, man. As that shouldn't be. Should be standard across the board, man. $500 you should be able to live anywhere in the world. If one place you could do it there, with a slight fluctuation maybe, man. But it shouldn't be like, yo, you could live in Brazil off of $500 a month, but here in America you need $4,000 a month to live. Shit don't add up, man. But that's this system, man. The whole foreign exchange rates dealing with different currencies, man. You take $100 to a place like Jamaica, you have fucking what? How much money, man? So much money, man. You understand? So it's all messed up, but all of these false balances, and this exorbitant inflation and interest, usury, is going to be a thing of the past, especially amongst the Israelites, man. Amongst the elect of Israel and amongst the nation of Israel. But like I said, if you want to put usury up on your heathen, you could do that, man. But ultimately, it's going to be a just system anyways, man. But we're going to need to do that anyway. We're going to be fucking you up. You're going to be our servants for 1,000 years, man. You know what I mean? So everything that you so-called have is really going to be ours for the 1,000 years, man. You understand? But nonetheless, this whole system is going to be an overhaul, man. Because it doesn't make sense, man. It's mind-boggling, man. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. God. False balance, man. And that's what Esau does with his whole currency system. US dollar worth this 100 times your currency, man. I can come to your country with $500 and $1,000 and live like a king, man. But here in America, I'm broken and broke. So that's false balances, man. And that's another way how Esau Edom oppressed the poor of these different nations, man. Through his currency system, man. Putting the US dollar and the pound and these different European, the euro, to be worth more than their so-called shit currencies, man. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it is what it is, because we understand that it's all part of prophecy. His whole system of false balances and of debt is all part of the biblical prophecies of identifying who Esau Edom is, who Babylon the Great is, man, in these last days and end times, man. But like I said, there it is, 40 trillion in debt and counting. And you people are through, man. America is through. You people are through. And it's only going to get worse, man. The whole economics of America is only going to get worse for the average everyday American. Both Jake, Edomite, heathen, it's going to get worse, man. The only escape is if you are part of the elect, man, of the nation of Israel. That's the only way you're going to make it through these last days and times, man. Because it's going to reach a boiling point where all hell is going to break loose, man. The system is going to crash. They're going to implement their new world order, martial law, pestilence. All of these things are going to happen, man. Quick, fast, man. And if you don't have the hedge of the Lord, you're going to be left out there, man. You're not going to know what to do. Isaiah chapter 33. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of our times, man. Wisdom and knowledge of what? The scriptures, knowing that what's happening, man. Knowing that why these things are happening, man. Why is the system crashing, man? Why are they bringing in this digital currency, so on and so forth. Hey, but with that, hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Then I say all praises be to Abanawa, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, HaKakodash. The bonus of the apostles was acquiring of great millstone who well, and shalom to elect.